Do you ever find yourself frustrated that you can't just calm yourself down when you can feel your nervous system is activated? If calming ourselves down was as simple as just having the thought we want to be calmer, then of course we would all do it. The challenge is that when we feel activated in our system, it's not just our mind. There is a biology, there is a chemistry which is underpinning that state. And so when we are feeling triggered, we're feeling activated, maybe it's something that someone said, it's something that's happened, or it's something that we were expecting to happen that didn't happen. But when we feel activated in that way, there is a reason why we can't just switch it off. It's an adaptive response that's designed to respond to a threat or a danger. And as such, it needs to be a somewhat resilient state, because it's that resilience of the state that kept us safe for millennia. Think about it like this. Thousands of years ago, back in caveman, cave person days, you're walking along and you see a threat. Maybe it's a saber-toothed tiger. And in that moment, you've got three choices. You're going to fight the tiger. You're going to move towards the threat. You're going to flight. You're going to try and get away from the threat. Or you're going to freeze and hope that the threat doesn't see you. Now, whichever of these responses that we choose, we need to have power. We need to have strength behind that response. And the biology of that, the chemistry of that, is our stress hormones get activated. You get a big hit of adrenaline, cortisol, various other stress hormones. They pump through your body, and that's why we feel this prime for action state. But it takes time for our chemistry to rebalance. So if we have a lot of adrenaline and cortisol going through our system, you can't just think to yourself, calm down, or someone says to you, calm down, and we're instantly calm. We have to allow our chemistry to rebalance. And that takes a little bit of time. It might take a few minutes. It might even take 10, 20, 30 minutes, depending upon how activated our system feels. Now, if while that rebalancing is happening, our response to that, or other people's response to that, is to get judgmental, frustrated, guess what happens? We're triggering more stress hormones. We're actually further activating the system. So the more agitated, the more annoyed, the more frustrated we become at this evolutionary response designed to keep us safe, the longer the response lasts. If we can recognize that our system is activated and it's done that because it's trying to protect us, and then we can practice taking some deeper breaths. We can allow the state to be there. We're not judging it. We're not shaming it. We're not trying to fix it. We're noticing it, but we're not feeding it anymore. We're not releasing any more stress hormones. We're just letting the ones that are in our system to work their way through and to rebalance. Then we'll gradually start to feel calmer. You can't force that process. What we need to do is we need to learn to allow that process. Now, if you find there are certain people, places, instances where you keep getting activated, you keep getting triggered, then part of the work might be to decode what's happening. Like, what is it about that circumstance? And actually, even more importantly, what is it about what happens inside of you in response to that circumstance? An example might be that if ever you feel that someone is rejecting you, or if ever you feel that someone is judging you, inside you feel afraid. Because maybe in childhood, when you were judged, that meant you were attacked. That meant that love was withdrawn and you didn't get that core need of love met. And so there's a feeling of unsafety, and that's why that response is happening. If we can gradually see that, we can start to recognize that actually that's not what's happening. We can start to break that pattern. It may be that we need to do some work healing some of that trauma from the past, learning to metabolize how to process that. In fact, check out a video I recently put out where I explored what I mean when I'm talking about digesting emotions. That would be a good place to understand more about that. Ultimately, what I'm saying is there is wisdom. The reactions or responses that we have, even if they're not actually helpful, their intention is to be helpful. What you resist will persist. The more that we fight a reaction, typically, the more we perpetuate the reaction. If we can learn to have a calm, gentle response to these reactions, over time they'll settle, and we may need to, as I mentioned, to do some work to heal that. Let me know in the comments below this video, was this helpful, but also what helps you navigate when you feel triggered or activated in yourself. Let me know in the comments, and I hope this has been helpful. I look forward to talking with you very soon.